Hello, strangers.
You look like a clown.
Oh, really? I look like a clown? Well, that's, well done for noticing, maybe. But please, today there is no time for clowning around, because today's tale is called Clowns from Hell. In a small, quiet town, Halloween was usually a time for laughter, for costumes. But this year, something sinister, evil had crept in. The circus had come to town. A big tent was put up, and of course with that brought clowns. Their makeup was grotesque, and their smiles were permanently etched into their faces, their paint messily smeared on. As night fell on Halloween, a dense fog blanketed the town, adding an extra layer of unease to the atmosphere. The local children were unaware of the impending horror and went about their trick-or-treating. The clowns were gathered, watching the children from the shadows, pointing and laughing as the kids ventured deeper into the fog. One by one they began to disappear, and with that, each one that did, each time a child disappeared, there would just be a colored balloon and a puddle of blood left to replace them. The panic started to spread throughout the town. Parents searched frantically for their children, for their missing children. Meanwhile, a group of teens decided to investigate the circus tent. They entered the tent, revealing the most gruesome sight. The little children's bodies were piled up high in the middle of the arena. Gory spectacle left the teenagers horrified and terrified. As the teenagers walked closer towards the pile of children, a spotlight came on. The teens looked around to see the clowns sitting in the seats around the outside, clapping and cheering, their faces painted white, with blood splatters all over their faces. Then the music began to play. They danced as their laughter echoed through the tent. But the teens were stupid. 13 clowns were juggling and laughing as they circled the teens. They noticed that the tallest clown was juggling with swords. They circled and circled the teenagers. Then the tallest clown cut off one of the teenagers' heads. The laughter got louder as they tossed the head between each other. It wasn't long before all the teens' bodies were laying on the floor, headless. The ring inside was covered in blood, and the clowns dragged the pile of teenagers and put them on top of the children's bodies into the massive corpse pile. The townfolk were desperate to save their children, to rescue them. They all band together and stormed to the circus tent. But the clowns were waiting for them to arrive. The parents and townsfolk were all welcomed by the big spotlight on all the dead children. Hundreds of dead bodies piled on top of each other, right in the middle of the tent. The townsfolk drew in closer and walked closer and closer, crying, calling their children's names. They looked round. The clowns were covered in blood, and they had chainsaws. They had They had big smiles and blood all over them as they drew in closer and closer. And to this day, you can still hear screams from that old town. And from that day, you could still hear the screams from the people in the old town. The people that live near the old town never go there and always stay away from any circus. Winds seem to carry the laughter of the clowns. Well, they didn't clown around, did they? They got straight to the point. What a funny story. Well, I hope you are enjoying this clown week so far. And I hope you enjoyed this creepy, terrifying tale. And don't forget, if you see a clown, it's probably best just to run. Run! Run! Because you don't want to die in a pile of dead bodies.